Reuters reveals sleaze is essential to its bottom line. Dan Gaynor on the line. He is the T. Boone Pickens Free Market Fellow at the Business and Media Institute, businessandmedia.org. And Dan, welcome back to our program.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Dan, I'm assuming that you know that most hotel chains in the United States would not be profitable without pornography.
They generally don't show pictures of 17-year-old girls. And I think if they did, I think the government might have something to say with that.
Yeah, well, okay. Your specific argument here then is that there's a shot of Miley Cyrus, which is all over the web and in many places, and that Reuters is actually selling. And there are some sites that have bought that shot and they've got it up. And so sites, like ours, who, if you want to see what it is, you'd have to hit the link. It's not on the site. Where it's arguably, she's wearing a bodysuit and arguably part of her crotch is showing and she's under 18.
Yeah, it's not even arguable. I think pretty much part of her crotch is showing.
Yeah, but if that's truly pornography, then these people should be in jail for child porn.
Well, it's even if it's not pornography, it's certainly, not just wrong from a moral and ethical standpoint. It wildly violates Reuters' own policies. I mean, they've got like half a website devoted to what Reuters considers to be proper journalism, done with the utmost integrity. And showing the crotch of a 17-year-old girl, I don't think meets anybody left or right's definition of integrity.
So, Dan Gaynor, I'm surprised that you're surprised that with a laissez faire free market news organization and no obligation for news in the public interest, that you're surprised that you get crotch shots of Miley Cyrus instead of real news.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised.
Are you calling for regulation?
No, I'm surprised that benign self-interest didn't take hold here because
benign self-interest.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do the right thing, but it also benefits you.
Okay, I'm looking at conservative websites here. The Daily Caller, the lead pictures, a couple of giant boobs hanging out there. We've got links to all these from our website if you want to see
Obama and Biden.
No, it's
sorry, I
World Cup. Larissa Raquel. Yeah, right. Good joke, Dan. Anyhow, Fox News, giant boobs. Wonder Woman star. Fox News. All these pictures of. Well,
I mean, there is something.
Fox News itself is like watching soft porn half the time.
No, it's not. I mean, there's a huge difference between what women wear in public, what they can wear out to a store, to a
Come on, Dan. I'm willing to give you that there are progressive websites. In fact, arguably the largest progressive website probably makes well over half of all their revenue from soft porn. And the same is true on conservative websites. And I'm not sure what your argument is.
Well, first of all, my argument was showing the crotch of a 17-year-old girl
it's not showing her crotch
in every way, shape, or form.
If it was showing her crotch, it wouldn't be there.
It certainly shows
it's showing a little bit of the skin that is connected to her crotch.
No, I encourage people, adults, not children, to look at this and view for themselves.
And you can find a link from ThomHartmann.com.
It was sufficiently
Now, see, if my site was supported by advertising, I just made myself some more money. Unfortunately, my site has no ads other than just on our homepage, and those are just from our radio sponsors. So I just cost myself money. but in any case,
you drove traffic to your website, and you're still encouraging people to support your advertising.
Well, yes, of course.
Not everything
but
is
mostly
money
we want to
for
build community.
You know this better, frankly, than most of the even conservative talk radio hosts I could talk to. You understand some things about business. You've done a lot of businesses. You know your image is important. You know the future of journalism is important. And when you do something like this, you damage all of those things. And when you do it behind the shroud of what is possibly one of the most detailed guidelines about integrity and ethics in journalism, you're likely to find on the web. Well, I mean, we're being sold a bill of goods by Reuters.
So you really do think that we should have news in the public interest? Or, do you think that Miley Cyrus should, and her handlers, that they should be held to account for the fact that really the crotch of her bodysuit should have had another inch and a half of fabric in it?
I certainly think Miley Cyrus's handlers, if you'll pardon the pun, deserve
no pun intended,
some blame
let's
here.
say.
Yes.
Let's agree.
But I mean, I'm not calling. We don't need regulation. When outrage often suffices for regulation. because when
I don't hear any outrage. My
certainly
understanding is
outraged.
that these websites with these photos of Miley Cyrus's, what you're saying is her crotch, what I think probably most people would say is part of her crotch, and not a part that necessarily would lose before the Supreme Court, is actually driving big business.
Well, I mean, it's also driving bad business. It's driving an organization that claims to be ethical, claims to do everything not only with integrity, but will cause no harm to anybody. And then even because they deliberately said, we are not selling this to online clients. Well,
I'm curious, Dan, do you think that nudist colonies, it should be illegal for them to have magazines that show pictures of entire families naked?
It depends on I think you're into prurient interests about who's doing this.
Well, the reason I ask that is because Miley Cyrus in these photos is not engaging in anything sexual.
Well, I think her whole performance was something sexual. So I would disagree there.
Then your gripe is with Miley Cyrus, not with Reuters.
No, my gripe is I've got a gripe with Reuters. I got a gripe with Miley Cyrus's handlers. She's still 17. I'm willing to cut her some slack for youthful stupidity. But
isn't the big picture here that at some point, our news business has become an infotainment business, and now it's even become a salacious infotainment business that's reaching so deep down in the bucket of garbage that it's pulling out crotch shots of a 17-year-old?
And I'm supposed to disagree with that. I don't
think you're going to disagree with it.
No, I don't disagree with that. I think that's true.
So how do we fix this?
How do we fix this? I mean, what's the future of journalism? I don't think anybody quite knows right now, Tom.
I think the future of journalism is to go back to the era when I was a reporter, where it was illegal. I would get fired, let's say. It wasn't illegal. I would get fired as a news guy if I was talking to the ad guys, where news was a money-losing business because it was about what's in the public interest, not the best crotch shot of a 17-year-old.
And that's the problem. I know a lot of journalists are out of work because they didn't talk enough to business side people.
Okay, Dan Gainer, businessandmedia.org. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.